Hi there, this is Tito from Magis Inc. and welcome to this video. Right now, beside me is one of the top leaders in the entire nation for the Solution Nation, a DirecTV program, the Smart Circle. And I'm honored and blessed to be interviewing him right now. His name is Joey Ortiz. Right now, Joey, you know, you've been killing it day in and day out. You've been hustling, making so much money every single week, and I'm so proud that, you know, of all like hundreds of owners, like, you know, he's always at the top 5 or 3 in the entire nation. So Joey, first of all, I just want to know how you got started in this business.
Yeah, of course. So how I started in the business, I started about 14 months ago.
Okay.
I started in Colorado Springs. I was a personal recruit. So what I mean by that is I was actually shopping, and then I got approached by the old owner. He asked me, hey, who do you got for TV service? And he closed me. So that's how it started. Yeah, he closed me. And then, you know, I eventually saw him again a month later. And he offered me a position. I said, hey, well, we talked about the wage, and I said, hey, you know, maybe, you know, I have to start here, right? And we bartered it, but he said no. So I said, okay, good. Well, then I can't start with you then. I'm sorry. And then I saw him again a month later, and then we talked, and, you know, I was already getting offered a job with federal law enforcement, right? And then I either had to drive far or take this opportunity that was local here in Colorado Springs. So I said, hey, you know what? We'll go ahead and try it. Let's go ahead and try it. And I just stayed in Colorado Springs where I started. I've never done sales before. It was my first sales job ever. You know, I just wanted to make some extra money, and I did. And then when I actually started the business, it was just more for the money for my kids. You know, I was married at the time with I have 3 kids. You know, and then when I first realized about the opportunity, which was at the actual Denver Regional Leaders Meeting, is when I realized the growth opportunities within our business, and that's when I went full force, and I knew this was the career for me.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so you know the step-by-step process. Obviously, you need to be a playmaker, and, you know, you need to produce sales before you move up to a leadership role where you can teach and train people. You know, what do you think is the biggest challenge in your first few probably weeks or months? You know.
My first challenge, honestly, when I became a leader, I got promoted fairly fast. My first week out of training, I did 16 DirecTV sales, and then I got promoted that Monday. My background is military and law enforcement, so the way I coach was not universal. So that was my major challenge in the very beginning, was coaching and mentoring in a non-direct way. I was very direct with my reps. When I hired somebody on, I remember hiring 5 people, and they all blew out, right? Because I was too hard on them. And that was my major struggle, building a great relationship with my guys. Because I created a relationship with the sales, but not with my guys. Where they respected me for who I was and what I've done, but they didn't respect my leadership style. So that's what I had to realize. I had to fix how I was building the relationship with my guys, 1. And then 2, you know, obviously that comes with retaining with my reps. So retention problem with the quality of reps that I have. And that was really, honestly, some of my major struggles. And when I got that, that's when it clicked.
Wonderful. And what do you think is the key characteristics of a great leader?
You know, to me, a great leader is somebody that leads by example. Somebody that would not ask of something of somebody that they wouldn't do themselves. If I wouldn't jump off a bridge, I wouldn't ask somebody else to do so. If I didn't know how to sell DirecTV, I wouldn't ask somebody else to sell DirecTV. So that's what I mean by being a great leader, and actually being the example, doing what you say, being able to follow through, right? You know, you say you're going to do something, you do it. You know, and that's what I was really big on, is making sure that I led by example. You know, if I sold DirecTV, I expected, well, if I asked them to do it, then I would be able to do the same. You know, and to be able to, you know, follow through. I said, hey, this is what we're going to do this weekend, and I did it. You know, I didn't let the outside distractions. I have 3 kids, and, you know, I have a family life, but, you know, I understand sacrifice too. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. And talking about, you know, conversions from, you know, a person who's coming in, you're handling Walmart and Sam's Club right now, is that
Fry's,
correct?
yeah.
And Fry's, okay. And not everyone comes in and, you know, really looking to sign up with DirecTV. You know, maybe you can tell us more about your pitch, you know, the standard pitch, and how you compete.
Okay, so my pitch consists of 4 things. My first thing is the introduction. Obviously, each store is very different. Okay, it's from 10 to 15 feet away generally. Specifically, my Sam's Club, I'll just give you an example, is it's from 10 to 15 feet away. Okay, my first thing is that I do an introduction. Hey, ma'am, how you doing today? Or sir, how you doing today, sir? Right? I small C factors. Okay, I use a lot of psychological cues, and I also incorporated the handshake. So when I do a pitch, it goes like this. Hey, man, sir, how you doing today, sir? Right? My name is Joey.
Hi, Joey. My name is
Tito. Oh yeah, hey, I'm running a special, which is my next thing, is a short story. I'm running a special. I point at my table. Psychologically, if they look, that's a buying sign. So, you know, hey, I'm running a special, Tito, right? And then you look, and you're like, okay, well, who do you have for internet and cable, right? And then you're gonna answer, and then you're like, oh my gosh. And then there comes the wow factor. Wow, what were you paying again?
160.
Oh my gosh. You said 100 already, but 160?
Yeah.
That's way too much. Let me show you this deal. And then I turn it. And that's the fourth thing is my turnover. So it's the introduction, the short story, the pitch, and then the turnover.
Okay. And you've been very consistent, obviously, with your production. That's how you move up the company. What are your habits in order for you to become a very consistent person?
So there's a few habits that I created inside the store. Well, one is work ethic. Well, before I even have the work ethic, how about sense of urgency? Is the very first thing. When I first started the company, I was the first one in the store. When everybody left the atmosphere, they usually hung around the parking lot. No, I'm straight to the store. I didn't eat. I already ate prior to, right? So these are the great habits that you create. You go to atmosphere, you have to eat prior to the atmosphere, right? A working mind doesn't work without food. You got to feed the engine, right? You got to put gas in the car. Same thing. You got to eat. And then sense of urgency. I went straight to the store every day. Okay, I put a sense of urgency in everything. I always made it a point where if I did not do this, there was a hazard that's going to happen, right? And that hazard was not me getting a sale, right? So I made sure that I created my LOAs early, so that way the sense of urgency. That's how I created my LOA early. One, and then working hard. I was never on GroupMe. I was never on my phone. By working hard. So I was working the territory correctly is another great habit you have to do. If you're so busy or if you're being proactive with your time, you would never have the time to spend wasting it. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. So that's another thing is and also being persistent. Not being so timid inside the store. Which is another great habit because a lot of people when they get too many hard no's, they no longer become persistent. Mm-hmm. Which ends with my last thing was mentality. A lot of people you have to create a hard shell, so you have to develop a great mentality, but not only just having a great attitude, but making sure that it's enthusiastic throughout the entire 8 hours of transaction.
Wonderful.
So those 4 things.
And how big is being a great student in what we do in our business?
It's key. It's key to everything. I use this metaphor here is, hey man, you have two ears and one mouth. Right, so you have to be able. For you to be able to give ever, you have to be able to receive first. So, for you to be able to be taught, you have to open up your mind really, really clearly to your mentors. And if you're not open to learning, then you're a closed mind is the most expensive thing, I think. Because you're not going to learn. You're just, this business has been around for so long. People's been doing this for so long. Why are you not open-minded to learning? And student mentality is key to this success for anybody in this business.
Absolutely. And the key is, if you're not learning, you're not growing, then you're failing in life. And,
exactly.
You've been in the business for 14 months.
Mm-hmm. That's
it's crazy. 14 months, 14 short months. There's a brand new person probably watching this video right now. What made you move up that quickly? What can you say to that brand new person? If you did it 14 months, knowing what you know right now, what would you have done differently in order to you to shorten that period of time?
I would have took a lot more time in developing a better relationship with my guys. If I had started that a little bit earlier, I probably would have progressed a lot faster. Because this is the great thing about this business is we provide opportunity. And how do we provide opportunity to others? We have to be a people person. And to be able to get along with others at a faster rate rather than having to learn the hard way. Building great relationship not only in the stores, but it goes back to the inside the office. And I think that's something I would have definitely changed if I had to change it.
And that's how the key to success is actually building powerful relationships, not only for your customers, to the team that you're building right now, or you're promoting owner, but at the same time, the people that are mentoring you. And speaking of mentors, maybe you can share with us, how valuable having a mentor is. Who's your mentor? What's the best advice for you?
Honestly, the key thing to having a mentor is because nobody's perfect, and for somebody to be able to identify your flaw, okay, that's something that you can't see within yourself that maybe somebody else can see in you, that you may not have ever realized, and that's the importance of having a mentor, somebody to coach you and guide you in the right way. That somebody's been doing this for so long that they have ideas that you may have never thought of, and that's the importance of having a mentor. And and a lot of the mentorship that I've gotten is a lot more of the technical side. So that's the best advice that you can get probably from a mentor. If you get the business already from a mentality standpoint, but don't understand the into detail the technical side, that's where you can really get a lot from your mentor.
Awesome.
And that's Dwayne Long.
Amazing. And
Michael Turner.
lastly, if there's a brand new guy right now over here watching this video, what is your one piece of advice for him?
I mean, if there's one thing that I'd have to say is be a great student. I mean, there's multiple things, but honestly, you can't even if as hard as you work, as fast as you move, as fast as you do anything, it doesn't matter how hard you work. You can't learn or grow without being a good student. Okay, so student mentality is key.
And we're here in Dallas right now. Obviously, business is growing. AT&T merging with DirecTV. We have a lot of things happening right now. What excites you the most?
The growth opportunity within our business. I mean, our business started 30 years ago, knocking on doors, and it's crazy. Now we just got acquired by AT&T, right? And the clientele that we represent is AT&T DirecTV, right? And being able to offer them inside retailers, and man, I mean, just the opportunity to grow the business in a much larger scale. Walmart's, the expansion of Walmart's, mobility. One day not having to go to an AT&T store, you can actually offer it within your own store. Right, and that's what's exciting, knowing that I can provide opportunity and the expansion, the growth within our business is the most amazing.
Amazing. And well, thank you very much, Joey Ortiz, for all the wisdom and the knowledge that you've been, giving, and hopefully you learn a lot of things. May God bless you, and have a great day.